this. Yeah. Alright. And they call him back, man. So, all day. He's a word. He's a word. My money goes for it.
Calvin Ford isn't here for debates, underdog stories, or what-if scenarios. To him, Lamont Roach is just another fighter about to learn a hard lesson. This fight is nothing more than business as usual for Tank. Davis.
My whole family's from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. You hear
Don't
me?
bring them.
It's gonna be a.
Ford has been around long enough to know who belongs at the top and who's just passing through. To him, Roach is just another name on the schedule. He's seen fighters like Roach before, tough, confident, and eager to prove something. But Ford knows toughness alone doesn't win fights against a puncher like Tank. Confidence fades the moment that first shot lands and game plans get thrown out the window when reality hits. Roach's camp has tried to hype him up as a real threat, but Ford isn't buying it. He's seen too many opponents come in with big ideas, only to break down once they feel Tank's power. They try to adjust to survive, but it's already too late. That's when the panic sets in. The legs slow down, the punches get desperate, and then comes the knockout.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at night.
I'm telling you saying you going down in a 9?
Ford isn't stressing over this fight because he sees no real danger or surprises. He's not talking about Roach as a challenge. He's talking about him like a stepping stone, just another name to add to the record. That's the difference between their camps. Roach's team is hoping for a moment, while Ford knows exactly what's coming. There's history between Davis and Roach, sure. They crossed paths in the amateurs, but that was then. The Davis of today is a whole different beast, sharper, more dangerous, and more experienced in the kind of fights Roach has never been in. Ford knows Roach can fight, but that's not enough. Plenty of fighters can fight, but only a few can survive against Tank. Even fewer can win.
You said what?
I beat you in the tournament twice. I beat him in the state, and then they did something
Beat me in the regionals. They cheated in Baltimore, took a point from me, fool. Come on. We sent the video to USA Boxing, and they said I should have won. They sent me to the Nationals. That was the only reason why I went.
And then I fought you again, beat you there,
And then
right?
you beat me.
There again.
Then you beat.
Roach is stepping into something he's never faced before. He's never been in front of someone who can shut the lights off with a single punch, or felt the kind of pressure that Davis applies. There's a difference between being confident and being prepared, and Ford doesn't think Roach is prepared. He's seen it all before. The hype, the strategies, the belief that someone has figured out the key to beating Tank. But the truth is simple. There is no key. There's no safe spot in that ring. Fighters try to box, move, or rough Tank up, but none of it works for long. Once Tank finds his opening, the fight is over.
Why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fight.
Ford doesn't need to say much. He's watched this story play out too many times. The other side convinces themselves they have an edge, but once that bell rings, everything changes. The energy shifts, the weight of the moment settles in, and when Tank starts landing, all their plans go out the window. The tension between the two camps is there, but it's not equal. Roach's side is looking for respect, trying to prove they belong. Ford doesn't need to prove anything. He's been here before and knows exactly what happens next.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together. And I'm gonna be the one. Obviously, I'm gonna be the one coming out.
While Calvin Ford makes it clear that Roach is just another name on Tank's list, Davis himself is staying focused. The words, the press conferences, and the outside noise don't mean much to him. He's in the gym, fine-tuning every part of his game, preparing to send another challenger home empty-handed. Davis is known for staying in shape, but his current training camp looks different. There's a sharpness to his work, an intensity that shows he's not just preparing, he's perfecting. Roach might not be the biggest name Davis has faced, but that doesn't mean he's taking him lightly. Every fight is a statement, and Tank makes sure that statement is loud and clear when the fists start flying.
Interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach always, he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And then
he recently gave fans a glimpse of what's coming with a viral training clip that left spectators in awe. The 13-second video showing a pad routine with his coach Patrice Harris highlighted Davis's blistering hand speed, rapid-fire combinations, and fluid movement. It was all there. Reactions flooded in instantly. Now he's looking sharp. One fan wrote, while another chimed in, fastest hands at lightweight. He recently dropped a viral training clip that left fans in awe. In just 13 seconds, the video featuring a pad routine with Coach Patrice Harris showcased Davis's insane hand speed, quick-fire combos, and smooth footwork. The reactions came pouring in. One fan wrote, "Now he's looking sharp," while another said, "Fastest hands at lightweight." The fact that Roach has history with Davis from the amateurs adds an interesting storyline, but it doesn't hold much weight now. Tank has evolved into one of boxing's most dangerous finishers, a fighter who ends things the moment he senses weakness. He's knocked out bigger, stronger, and more experienced fighters than Roach, and based on his training, it looks like he's planning to do it again. While Tank is the headline, the undercard is stacked with talent. The co-main event features Jose Valenzuela defending his WBA super lightweight title against Gary Antoine Russell, who is looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Alberto Pello. Valenzuela, on the other hand, wants to prove his title win was no fluke. Further down the card, P will put his UBC super lightweight belt on the line against Sandor Martin. Pell remains undefeated, but Martin is no pushover, known for retiring Mikey Garcia and giving Teofimo Lopez a tough fight. Martin is still chasing that world champion dream, and this might be his best shot. Meanwhile, Davis stays locked in, sharpening his weapons for Roach, but the outside world hasn't given him a moment of peace. Training or not, his name is always in the conversation. The spotlight follows him wherever he goes, bringing with it the never-ending cycle of both admiration and criticism.
Okay, and then somebody else talk like his crew. That's what get me up. Like that's what make me like. I always want to prove to somebody that I'm like they not who they are.
You talk when they try to talk about that money, that how they bang.
No, not money per like when they.
This isn't new to him. Davis has been living in this world since he first started knocking people out under Floyd Mayweather's banner. Fans will scream his name after a knockout, calling him the best in the world. But the moment he takes time off or isn't constantly in their faces, the narrative shifts. Suddenly he's ducking fighters. Suddenly he's not as great as they once believed. It's the same game, just a different day. Davis has been watching it all unfold, and now he's speaking on it. He recently took to Instagram to expose exactly how fast people switch up. He shared a screenshot of a fan who went from being a die-hard supporter to a disrespectful heckler overnight. One day the fan was in his DMs praising him, saying they admired his skills and wanted to train like him. The next, they were calling Davis out, claiming they could beat him in a fight.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends, probably.
Is it gonna be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all gonna be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully, I just make him bleed.
This isn't just one fan acting out. It's a pattern that plays out over and over again. Fans love a winner, but they love tearing one down even more. The same people who hype up a fighter will be the first to call him a fraud if he isn't constantly delivering knockouts or headlining fights. It's the nature of the sport, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating for those living through it. Davis isn't the type to get caught up in outside noise, but he also isn't one to let things slide. His response to the situation wasn't just about one fan, it was about the bigger picture, about how fickle boxing fans can be, and how no matter how much you accomplish, people will always find a way to downplay it.
Just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
Davis's career has been under scrutiny for years. He's heard all the narratives. He doesn't fight the best. He's wasting his prime. He's just a puncher. None of it is new. Yet when he steps into the ring and does what he does best, the tune changes. When he folded Ryan Garcia with a body shot, the doubters went silent. When he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, the same critics had nothing to say. But give it a few months and suddenly, they're back at it, questioning him all over again. That's it. What Davis is addressing, the inconsistency, the way fans latch onto negativity instead of giving a fighter his due. He's seen it happen to other greats. Floyd Mayweather lived through the same thing, so did Canelo Alvarez. Win a fight and you're the greatest. Take time off and you're overrated. It's a never-ending cycle, but Davis isn't here to please everyone. He's not chasing validation from fans who flip sides at the first sign of inactivity. He knows his worth, and he knows where he stands in the sport. March 1st is just another chance to remind the world. While some fans sit behind screens questioning his legacy, he's in the gym putting in the work to add another body to his resume. The Shasti critics will always be there, waiting for a slip-up, eager for the chance to say, "I told you so." But Davis has seen it all before and knows exactly how to handle it. He doesn't argue, he doesn't entertain the nonsense. He just lets his fists do the talking. When fight night comes, the same people calling him out now will be right back where they started, cheering his name. Even as Davis sets the record straight on the fickle nature of fans, the debates about his toughest opponent continue. But if you ask him, there's nothing to discuss. None of these guys were ever a real problem. One name that gets thrown around a lot is Isaac Cruz. The 26-year-old Mexican brawler has built a reputation as one of the hardest hitters in the lightweight division. His aggressive style, relentless pressure, and ability to absorb punishment have made him a fan favorite, but Davis isn't buying into the hype. To him, Cruz was just another name on the record, another fighter who couldn't get the job done. Pitbull was a cakewalk too. Davis posted on X, making it clear that he doesn't respect the idea that Cruz gave him trouble.
Can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta Davis fights don't go the distance.
The two fought back in December 2021, and while Cruz avoided the fate of most Davis opponents by going the full 12 rounds, he still lost by unanimous decision. The scorecards reflected a competitive fight, but not a controversial one. While fans like to act like Cruz gave Tank his hardest night, Davis himself has no interest in entertaining that narrative. The reality is, Cruz was never supposed to be in that fight. He stepped in on short notice to replace Rolando Raleigh Romero, who was originally scheduled to face Davis before being pulled from the bout due to legal issues. Cruz took the opportunity and made the most of it, pushing forward with his usual aggressive style, but he never truly had Davis in trouble. Even back then, Davis made it clear he wasn't impressed. He fought most of the later rounds with an injured left hand, but still did enough to win. Now, years later, with Cruz calling for a rematch and fans pushing the idea that he deserves another shot, Davis isn't worried. "I'll fight him again, I will stop him next time," Davis posted, "It's not just confidence, it's a warning. Davis doesn't just believe he can beat Cruz again. He believes he can do it more convincingly, possibly even by knockout this time. If history has shown anything, it's that Tank is a man of his word when it comes to putting people down. The bigger issue here is how fans continue to shape these narratives. If a fighter makes it to the final bell against Davis, people act like it's some sort of moral victory. If he doesn't knock them out, suddenly it's a sign that he struggled. But the reality is, winning a fight is winning a fight, whether it ends in a knockout or a decision. Davis did what he had to do, and that should be enough."
Start talking, when the people that who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'ma beat his ass.
He can't do shit with. I don't give a fuck.
So y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet. If y'all was loud.
He got the whole hood over there.
Like twisted up. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Y'all can do whatever
I don't
y'all
care about
want.
none of
My
that.
mother, he
I
can't
don't care
stop
about no
nothing
hood,
over
no
here.
none of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Not at all.
The same thing happened with Ryan Garcia. Many people thought Garcia would be Gervonta Davis's biggest challenge because of his speed, power, and reach advantage. But when they faced off in the ring, Davis took control. He knocked Garcia down in the second round, played with him throughout most of the fight, and then finished him with a body shot in the 7th. It wasn't even close. Still, some tried to downplay Davis's win, saying Garcia wasn't at his best or making excuses about his preparation.
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being ducked leading up to this. Shakur Stevenson ducked him. Lomachenko ducked him openly. El Rayo didn't want to fight this year. He wanted to fight next year. Another thing is, I was hearing that Tank wanted it at 135 and rehydration, all kind of shit. So, but I don't know how true.
This is the issue Davis faces with fans and critics. No matter how many wins he racks up, there's always an excuse. Either the opponent wasn't good enough, the fight wasn't exciting enough, or someone else deserves a shot. It's never just about what Davis does in the ring. Take Isaac Cruz. Despite his toughness, he hasn't done enough to earn a rematch. He's won a few fights, but none against top-tier opponents. Even though Cruz has called for another fight, Davis isn't rushing into it. If it happens, it happens. But he doesn't see it going any differently. The truth is, Davis is at the top. He doesn't need to chase anyone. The biggest fights will come to him because he's the biggest name in the division. Whether it's Cruz, Garcia, or whoever fans hype up next, Davis will handle them like he always does. They're just another name on his list. While Davis might be focused on preparing for Lamont Roach, fans are already looking beyond his March 1st fight. To them, Roach isn't the fight they want. They're calling for something bigger, like a rematch with Ryan Garcia or a showdown with Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah. Oh, stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning. Step around. Keep turning.
Ever since their first fight in April 2023, Garcia has been pushing for another shot at Tank. He entered the ring confident, but Davis made quick work of him. He knocked Garcia down in the second round and finished him off with a brutal liver shot in the 7th. It was a one-sided beating that left Garcia no choice but to accept defeat. However, over time, his story has changed. Now Garcia claims he wasn't at his best that night. He's blamed everything from a supposed spy in his camp to a rehydration clause that affected his strength. Since then, he's regained some momentum, knocking out Oscar Duarte in December 2023, and has been pleading for a rematch on social media.
What? Who said that? You said
My
what?
man,
You said
said
what?
bet.
Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet. What's your name?
As for Davis, he hasn't shown much interest in a rematch with Garcia. To him, Garcia had his chance and lost. But if the money's right, and it usually is when Garcia's involved, there might be a chance for a rematch. However, there's another name gaining attention, Teofimo Lopez. Unlike Garcia, Lopez is a proven champion with real accomplishments. The former unified lightweight king shocked the world in 2020 when he beat Vasily Lomachenko. After a brief setback against George Kambosos Jr., he bounced back, moving up to 140 libras and defeating Josh Taylor for the WBO junior welterweight title.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plants Hawaii, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say, I want all the guys.
Lopez has been outspoken about wanting to face Davis, claiming that Tank has been taking easy fights and avoiding real competition. Many fans agree, seeing Lopez as the true challenge, an opponent who would push Davis to prove his greatness. A fight between them would be an exciting clash of styles. Lopez's explosive power and sharp boxing against Davis's precision and fight-ending ability. The issue, however, is that Davis is focused on 135 lbs for now, while Lopez is settled at 140. With Davis already set to face Roach, the timeline for a potential Lopez fight is still unclear.
I'm gonna beat his ass with y'all target. Don't give a fuck about
Not at all. Never. No.
If Tank is serious about cementing his legacy, these are the fights that will define it. A Garcia rematch would be huge for business, but a fight with Lopez, that's the one that would shut down all the critics. Until Davis faces someone like Lopez, the questions won't stop. Fans will keep asking, when is Tank going to fight the real killers? What's your take? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.